Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hope we all are doing good. So, as usual, we have a few minutes of songs. And where you're starting, let's know as you connect. Let's know where you're connecting from. And we encourage everyone share, tag someone, so that nobody misses. Today is another special day. The topics, of course, are always unique and different. So I own no copyright for the songs we play. Jesus, you are for me, you are with me, you live in me. My life is in you. I'm secure. So as you join, let's know where you're watching us from. Let me see something. In you I live, I move, and have my being. In you I live, in you I move, and have my being. In you I live, I move, and have my being. I am safe, I'm secure, never disadvantage you now, Lord. Hey, I am saved, I am secure, I'm secure. No copyright infringement present. If you can take care of the birds in the universe, he will take care of you. If you can take care of the birds in the universe, he will take care of you. Cry no more. Cry no more. Your tears, cry no more. Cry no more. Cry no more. Cry no more. Wipe your tears. Joy is here. Joy has come. In you I live, I move, and have my being. Yeah. In you I live, I move, and have my being. Oh, in you I move, and have my being. Hello, happy weekend to everyone. Nice everyone down. So we are starting in a few minutes. We're just giving time for those who want to have applicants with your manual. So we're just giving time for those who want to take our time to love each other with their loved ones and to do so without being interrupted. Okay, happy weekend once more to all of us and amazing people. Welcoming to all those who are joining our program for the first time. We say a big welcome to you if you're at home. This is a family of lights, family of creative and independent minds, family of positively minded people that come together to empower each other. It's often said iron sharpened iron, right? Which means for us to keep our light shining and not just shining, but increasing the frequency of our lights continuously in a world that continuously changes, in a world that continuously bring us different things, and we definitely need to lean on each other. We definitely need to maximize other people's assets, other people's talents, other people's skills to make it easy for us. So that's why we provide a platform like this where you meet positively minded people and you share with positively minded people. Yeah, I see in my inbox some people are asking for the link. Unfortunately, I was playing with my phone, so I wasn't able to share to anybody. But it's fine. We're going to get this one. Okay. So I was just trying to read what I saw in the comment section. So we encourage you, if you're joining this platform for the first time, if you're at home again, know that this is a family. It's not just a page. It's not just a program, but it's a family of people you can meet in person. If you're around any of us, we are that accessible. You can meet us if you want to chat with us. But again, we'll keep everything positive and simple. So if you're negative, no, it may be difficult to get access to some positive minds. So we keep everything possible and positive. Happy Women's Day. I know some people are still in their Women's Day celebration, and of course, I am proud and I am honored to be a woman. Being a woman is not just, I know many times as humans, we limit it to the physical, to the reproductive organs, the breast, things like that, but it's far beyond that. If you look things in that narrow, it's just 1% of what is fully about being a woman. Being a woman comes with type of spirit, type of calm, nurturing spirit that if you look through, women really have patience, that it takes a lot for you to get the type of level of patience women naturally have. And guess what? If these women are very intentional, as women, we can do everything. We can really multitask. You can be carrying a baby on your back, and at the same time you're cooking at the same time. So women, we are blessed. So if you're a woman, you are indeed blessed. I know we live in a generation that society try to make us feel sometimes that we are not important. But I just want to say, if you're a woman, you are indeed blessed. You are honored. You are favored. And that's one thing I want all women at least to take today. So if you have a woman, if you're a man connected and watching, like, why are you not talking to me? I'm also talking to you that be happy and celebrate the women around you, at least if not every day. Today, do it, but make it a habit, by the way. So, and for those who saw my post, I said, accept the side chicks, which means you can have those type of divided attention. So you know what I mean? So celebrate those true women you have in your life and really value them. And trust me, you see how better your life would be. Everything around you. Women are organizers. Women are good organizers. And no, of course, there are exceptions to every rule. So just to say, indeed, I'm celebrating all the women connected to this family, and I'm celebrating all the powerful men that are supporting the powerful women, allowing them do their thing. All of you are blessed. And if you're not yet beside a powerful woman, at least remember that woman gave birth to you, right? So yeah, if a woman gave birth to you, so she have reason to give um, women their honor. With all that being said, today we're talking about something that is seen people don't talk about it when something negative happens. What is this person leaving? So legacy is basically what we're talking about. So before we start, before I say anything further, for all amazing people connected, let me know when you hear the word legacy or when you see the word legacy, what is that first thing that comes to your mind? Like immediately or each time you hear the word legacy, what immediately comes to your mind? What immediately comes to your mind each time you hear or see the word legacy? What is that first thing that comes to your mind? So let's keep the comment section busy, great people. Let's keep it busy. That's not the first thing that comes to your mind each time you see that word legacy. And before I proceed, also as we are showing that, um, okay, I'm always say ownership. Thank you for sharing that. So, guys, I encourage every one of you to make sure you're following us on Facebook. My profile is Brightest Low, just to stay connected, and our page is Creative and Independent Minds, and YouTube Brightest Light TV. Please follow this platform so that we don't need to bother ourselves on notifying people or showing me links when we are live, because I believe if you're following us and you subscribe to our account to our platforms, you should be able to have a notification each time we are live, which is one of the reasons that each time we are live, we give some minutes, because we understand with network, it takes some time for people to actually have this notification that we are live, which is the reason. Because, like, I know sometimes people see these notifications, even me. I used to be like on my phone, like, oh, you're live, like about maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So that's one of the reasons I know sometimes it's important we really wait that people can have this notification before we start. So that is why the beginning we always have the music break. So I'm just really encouraging everyone that to make this easy for all of us. Let's all subscribe or follow depending where you're watching from. And also, if you're just watching one platform and you're using, because I know some people may be using Facebook and are not using YouTube or are not active on YouTube. So definitely, you may want YouTube. If you're on Facebook and not using YouTube, so you may want Facebook, so you subscribe on Facebook. But if you're using both, I encourage you to follow both, so that whatever is easy for you to join, you can easily join us through that. So that is really an encouragement for everybody. Why I'm doing, because I'm saying so that people in my inbox that now, as I said today, I wasn't able to share, and that is the case sometimes. I can share depending on what I'm using to do other things with. Like, I don't know, I have this other system I used to use to play the songs that sometimes, I don't know, the network, it doesn't play songs. It does other things. But when it comes to YouTube, it messes up. And I don't know why. And so I just really encourage everyone, stay connected with us. Do all your best and we'll do what. So okay, back to our question. And no, Emmanuel is not the only person connected here. So I encourage everybody, send in your positive input. It's all about positive and creative mind. Creative minds are not shy people. We can't be shy. We want to be shy, and we shall never be shy people. So okay, so when I think about legacy, I will start from different ages. When I was a kid, whenever they talk about legacy, I was like, it's about inheritance, money, houses, somebody who has died has left. So that is just what came to my mind: inheritance, and material inheritance to be specific. Thank you, but someone said we shall not be shy. Yes, of course, we can't be shy. Destiny and greatness is in boldness, is in courage. You have to be courageous to take those bold steps to see what it is. So yes, so I was saying, for me, when I think about legacy, or when I was younger, whenever I saw the word legacy, what came to my mind was inheritance in one word. But now it changed. When I hear about legacy, what comes to my mind is value and impact. So in one word, I would say impact. Each time I see the word legacy, I'm like, what impact has this person created or this event? So each time we think about legacy that way. So I also encourage us, when it comes to words, we have dictionary. Dictionary just means we are making use of other people's, as I said, wise people make use of other people's assets, other people's skills, other people's talent. A dictionary was written by someone, right, or people. So what means is they were good in those areas, putting on those words together. So each word you're using, which is an English word, make sure you go back to the dictionary to make sure you're checking other definitions. Why do I say so? Of course, thinking about legacy just in the form of assets, let me say properties, money, material properties, it's okay because it's one of the definition of what legacy is all about. But is that the only definition? That is the question that sometimes we don't ask. Is this the only definition? So whenever we talk about words or we use words, the context is very important, right? So it's the same for legacy. So legacy, I think a lot of people still consider it to be a topic for the old or a topic for people who are about to die. Are you one of those people? Are you one of those people who think legacy should be a topic discussed only for people who are above a certain age, people who are sick, people who are about to retire, people who are of age, people who are in a critical condition? That's where you start thinking and putting their things together, or you start talking about legacy. Do you still have that mindset? Are you this person who think, oh, I'm still very young, and I should not be thinking about these things? What the truth is, a lot of us are so comfortable with the lie that at the end of the day we do nothing. The lies we tell ourselves or the lies we prefer to hear is the reason why many of us are not manifesting our greatnesses. It's the reason many of us have belittled ourselves. It's the reason many of us have limited ourselves. So I tell you today, and I challenge you to start telling yourself the truth. If you're still in this position that you're comfortable with the sweet lies instead of the bitter truth, there is so much power in hearing the truth and accepting it, because that's when you face the reality, and facing the reality gives a lot of strength. Facing the reality gives a lot of boldness. Facing the reality gives a lot of courage. And sometimes the truth is in this very wear and season. One thing we all need is that courage. That courage to move forward each day. Many of us have said earlier this year we had a topic that talked about mission mode and survival mode. What keeps many people in survival mode is just this comfortability in staying in the lies, in the street lies. It's okay, just take care of your bills, just take care of what you can eat, and that is it. That is a lie. No human being was created just to be in that comfort zone. No human being was created just to be in that minimum position. So, what stops you from getting to that next level? What stops you from creating an impact like every other person? What stops you from being among the top is because you are still thinking small. You are still comfortable with the lies. So that's why I personally found it so important to my creative minds, to the people who are intentionally slide, for God to remember them, for those who are working. Oh, this year is my year of victories. About remembrance, right? What impact have you created in the past that you want God to remember? What have you done that you want it to grow? What have you planted that you want it to grow? What are you planting now that you want it to grow? What are you doing now that you want God to bless it tomorrow? That's the essence, that's the direction in which I want us to talk about legacy today. And that's what, for me, honestly, that's what I see legacy as. I see legacy as that impact from a past event. That past event, maybe the people you help. I believed, if we all are very, very true to ourselves, tell me, are there some people you know in your life that if they call you at 1 a.m., you're going to pick your call? Are there people like that? And I ask you now, by the way, let me see that in the comment section. Are there some people in your life that you know, whatever time? I personally have my phones on silence most of the time. But there are people that they tell me, oh, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm like, what time? I'm going to remove that phone from silence just that I don't miss your call. I have people like that. And there are people that when they tell me, I'm going to call you tomorrow, I'm like, oh my God, not again. Because of course, you know people who bring impact, and you know people that bring distress. You know people who add value. You know people who create memories, good memories, and you know people that are there to bring stress. So this is what legacy is all about. If you want to be great, you have to start thinking the right way. We all need to have the right perspective. And as it is, for me, I don't know about you, but I believe each day God give us those opportunities to create legacies. each day. It's not just about money, I know there's also a group of people who think, oh, for you to create a legacy, you have to be very wealthy. Really? Is legacy all about money? Let me know. Is that what you really think? Is legacy all about money and material things? Hi, Martin, and every other person acting in the comment section. Thank you all. I see you guys. So ask yourself, is legacy all about money? Is legacy all about properties? Is legacy all about the physical material things we know or we have? Because I think a lot of time we have been so deceived that we see, like, let me give an example. Growing up, I think a lot of people realize that we thought that rich people were living their best life all the time. We think people who are making good results never went through the things we are going through. But how many of us have realized that that was a lie we told ourselves? How many of us have realized that? Because when I talk about legacy, I see people who are creating impact. I see people who have used their difficult moments as a stepping stone. To every great man I personally admire, I go back and check the story, and guess what? I really more admire the story. Because to every great, mostly when it comes to those who are Christian, to every person you see that we celebrate today, including Jesus, that for those who are in Lent, you're looking at his life, the story. So, oh, he did this amazing thing, and today you celebrate and call the name Jesus, right? When somebody's going through a difficulty, oh my God, blood of Jesus, Jesus, why do you call that name? Because there's an impact, right? There's an impact, and that impact did not just come like that. That impact, there was a story, there was a journey, which means there was something done in the past. So that name will have the impact it has now. That you can sit on your bed, or you can just be on the road driving and someone, oh Jesus. How many of us shout that name so much without sitting back to check what did this man do to make sure that this name has this much impact? And come back and ask yourself, what are you doing today to make sure that your name has a great impact? So that's what I just want to charge us, by the way, to be in that space of I'm no more a baby that I just think about the basics. Because the truth is, it's so sad to see that the people that, I used to think old people with age, everybody should have some wisdom, but if we still come back to tell ourselves the truth, not every old person is a wise person. Do we agree? Like, not every person that is orderly is wise enough to do the right thing, to think the right way. It's sad to see that some people, as let me say, twice older than us, think like babies, think like the way we're thinking when we're kids. How do you feel, by the way, when you're around such people? How much you want to listen from them? Personally, those are the people that I said that people you call me, I will listen, but in 2 seconds, I want to get why you call me. Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to talk for 5 hours that you make sense from your first 2 minutes of a call. Some about minutes, seconds, by the way, right? We all are going to know, also, the person you're talking to is going to know if what you're doing or what you're going to say is going to be beneficial, just another noise. That's why generally for those who are researchers, when you go to read an article, tell me, do you need to read the whole article before you understand how beneficial, how good the article is? Of course, no. We all go start first. The first thing you look for every article, you look the abstract for a reason. So by the time you're talking, note and put it in mind that people are picking your abstract. Why is he calling? What are his rationale? What are his specific reason? And what is his approach? What things like that. So do we all now understand that we all are assets and we all are legacies and we all can build legacy? Do we all agree at this point? Because I know some people who started watching this video earlier were surely like, I'm still young, I'm just a girl, I'm still single, I'm not yet married, I'm still that, I'm still Z, I don't yet have the P, I don't yet have that, I'm not yet educated, I don't have enough money, so I can't create any impact. So if you came with that mindset, now, do you know that you are very eligible to also build a legacy? If you believe, say yes, I do. That let's see that in the comment section. Because I know, oh, I'm sick. Even if you're watching this video from a bird, sick bird, I just want to encourage you that yes, it's difficult, I know, and you may like, oh God, this is it. But at that, do you know that still on that bird, you still have the power to do the right thing. So maybe there's something you have to say the truth and you have not said it. You have that, you still have the opportunity to create that impact, to do the right thing at this moment. So guys, for all those who don't see belief, you need to still go back and sit back and ask yourself again this question: why do I live? Why am I even living? Because I think it starts from those questions we really don't ask often. And that's why Creative and Independent Mind make sure this program runs every Saturday, regardless of our schedule. Saturdays are so busy and I don't like to get up early. But this is a legacy I am intentionally building. Of course, even if Facebook is not existing tomorrow, do we all know that this video will still create an impact in someone's life? Let me ask us. Do you all know that this video, which is currently streaming on Facebook, on Creative and Independent Minds, and Brightest Law as well on YouTube, will still impact somebody that is not yet born? Do we all know that? So, what about your own life? What about your life? What are you doing intentional to make sure that this thing you're doing today, because today will be a past in the next 3 years, right? Today is present. This, you can mark the date. This is the 9th of March 2024. In the next 30 years, it will be a past for all of us, right? And guess what? As sad as it is, the truth is bitter but must be spoken. In that 30 years' time, some people will be no more. It's what it is. It's just part of life. And some people will obviously be born. So someone who is not watching this video today may be watching this video tomorrow. Someone who does not know you today will know you tomorrow. Someone that is your friend now, very close friend now, may not be there tomorrow. What are you doing to make sure that each moment, each day, each second, you're creating an impact? That's what legacy is all about. So all the great people you see are people either focusing on just creating the legacy from everything, creating an impact from everything or every situation, rather than complaining, rather than thinking that, oh, T, I get it. T, everybody accept what I'm doing. T, people understand it. I was fortunate to see a video of a music artist who is doing so well now by the grace of God, and his ministry has expanded in different territory, and he's known worldwide. I will not mention the name. You may do your research to know what I'm talking about. So I saw a video of this artist. I didn't know his story though. But I personally, or as I say, I've come to understand that to any person that got licked, I mean the person has humbled himself before him. That's what I understand. Every person that got licked, know that the person has been a moment and say, God use me. That's what it is. So the person has a story, and for God to use you and lift you to a certain level, there's always a testing period. But I know, of course, many times people don't get into to know what was the testing period or what this person had to forgo to get to this point. So this music artist, from his story, is well celebrated now. This guy used to sell water. He's a guy, by the way. He used to sell water in a small market, and he used to help the mother to slice vegetables and sell in the market just to afford transport to get to church. That was his reason for going to help his mom. So at least he will be sure that the mom will give him some money, or we have some money to go to church. Not to get expensive cars, oh, not to build the biggest house, just to go to church. And I listened that part and it touched me. I'm like, how many people can really just humble themselves to do some things like that? Just to create an impact, because that is what it is. He was going to church not to just to sit, maybe to play the drums, maybe to help in one or two things in the church. Why? Maybe we should take some few minutes to pause about ourselves now, to ask ourselves, what are you doing now just to create an impact? Because I know for money, right? Every one of us can do anything for money. I know that. As far as there's an immediate reward, right? Trust me, you see the best out of people. That's why if you tell somebody that I want a secretary that is going to come to work at 6 a.m., even if this person normally gets up at 9 a.m., that person will start getting up at 5 a.m. True or true? If you told, oh, I'm going to pay you good money, give a certain good amount, maybe $5,000, that is good money, of course, right? to so many people, $5,000 a month, and it's like, I just want you to be my secretary and just help me to make sure that everything is in order, make sure my appointments, I don't miss any appointment. How many of us would like to do that job, by the way? Like, irrespective of what you studied in school, of course, at this time you won't even check like, oh, many people will not check. Oh, I have a PhD in this. Oh, I did this. I did food science, or I did that science, or I did this technology, or I did this craft, and this, or I did acting. Many of us will don't. But the question is, how many of us are able to get up each day and do things intentionally just to create an impact? Maybe in someone's life, maybe in your community. Like with that, because another thing is mostly in this Android generation, or this highly empowered, as I call it, highly empowered generation. To whom power is given, much is expected. And to whom power is given, there's an increase in pride that needs to be properly managed. So, how many of us in this tech generation are comfortable to do things and nobody is there to appreciate? Because a lot of times we are doing things and our cameras are on. A lot of times we are doing things and waiting for people immediately to do what? To start praising us, to post on their status, to say, oh, this person helped me, this person did that. Or in fact, we are doing something because, like, let me give an example. I'm an influencer. I can start giving people money and things just because I want my page to grow, right? So in other words, I'm giving because there's a reward I'm expecting. So how many of us can come and do things even even when we know we will receive nothing, there will be no reward? That is the question, because that's what legacy is all about. If you don't understand legacy, there's no need, and you don't need to be a legacy. There's no need us talking about the secrets of choosing and building the right legacy. Hey guys, if we want to just come to this video and say, what these are the secrets for you to build, to people don't even want to build a legacy, what essence is that? So that's why we are taking our time to make sure that everybody who is watching this video, even if you're watching 1 minute of this video, you at least understand what legacy is all about. It's unfortunate that we most of the time talk about this when somebody has passed. So, oh, this person did nothing, this person left nothing. But while that person is alive, did you go and think or talk to this person about how meaningful the person can make his life? And the truth is, sometimes mostly the young folks, who don't want to hear. We don't want to hear the truth about making valuable use of our time. We don't want to hear about the truth about making valuable use of the money we earn, the things, the people we have, till when the extreme has happened, till when things are like, oh my God, it's not going the way we want it. And sometimes addictions and other things have stepped in that are not even controllable. So, are there some people who are ready to build sustainable legacies? And there's some amazing people here who I'm like, maybe I've been joking, maybe I've been building, but I don't even know if what I've been building is sustainable, is just going to last for 2 years. Because of course, when I say legacy, there are different types of legacies, different types. So maybe we'll talk a little bit. How many people want us to talk a little bit about the different types of legacies? But I think at this point, do we all now know what a legacy is? And do we all now at least have that for those who are just thinking about houses that somebody dies and leave, or money people leave in the bank and thinking that legacy is only for the rich? Do you not believe you too can build a legacy? That's what's important. Do you not believe you are very, 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 very eligible to be your legacy? Okay, thank you for all those who are making themselves visible in the comment section. Guys, I like if you are new here, I like to know who I'm talking with. I like to know those who are watching. So imagine you are in my position. Let me assume you're a teacher and you get to a class, you're talking. Everybody sits quiet. How will you feel? That's a legacy. So there are people who have created impact, for example, in my life, just because they are attentive to my programs. That is what legacy is all about. That impact that can come from an event. I've gone to an event and met people and they were just so nice. And that is how I can forget how they impacted my life. They say you can forget what people said to you, what people gave you, but you cannot forget how people make you feel. So wherever you get into, be so intentional in creating or making or building a legacy. That is how I live. And I'm so happy to say that's one of the most joyful things I have learned and acquired in life, which is not money, of course, right? It's just knowing that wherever I've stepped my feet, it's not by mistake. I don't believe in that. It's not by chance, but I know I'm in that place to create a legacy. Something that, even if you're doing the wrong things, me telling you that what you're doing is wrong, trust me, you know. I just need God. Tell me how to do it. I am going to create a legacy. That even after 10 years, you're like, there's just one person who told me that this thing was doing was right. Anybody was like, it's okay to this person, to this girl like that. It's like it. So that's what I'm saying. Legacy is not always like constructive things, like maybe the house or hospitals you build. It's not just those things. That just it can be just a little act of kindness. It can just be okay. Let's look example our mothers or our parents. Why do we think many of us so love our parents so much that or our families so much the bond between because the families are so divided that some is in fact if they even call a family member call the other they may not pick. And the people that have family friends that have not been talking with for years, and the question is why. But let's look at this other set of families that they are just so bonded in a way that you can't use anything to separate us. Sit back and reflect again. What do you think keeps this family together? Is it money? Is it the impact that have been created in each person's life? Um, is it the material things they've acquired? Or is it because the house they live is so big and well equipped? What do you think keep these family bonds together? Because of course we can't pretend. I say yeah, we say it as it is. We can't pretend to say we don't see how family brothers have killed brothers, sisters have killed sisters, and some mothers unfortunately have killed their own children. Of course. So we are very realistic and that we face the truth, and that's what makes us great people, right? So what do you think that to this family, to this bond, this friendship, these sisters, these brothers you see that are inseparable? What do you think makes them different? What do you think keeps them together? Is it that they never have differences? Is it that they never argue? Is it that they never have difficult moments? Or what do you think really keeps them together? Thank you. Welcome in, my brother Franklin. I see you in. So that is basically the questions. I think if we are true, I said that the reason many of us are limited, the reason many of us are on the same spot, the reason many of us think we have to do the same thing and work like one size fit all. Everybody still have to do that. You know, when you're a kid, the thing they tell you is go to school, do well, have good grades, and when you have good grades, have a good job, get married, have children. I know that's all a pattern to some people they still have as a legacy. So to some people, their legacy is their marriage. It's not like it's not a legacy. Of course, I said there are so many types of legacies. Some people, their legacy is their children. It's not like the only type of legacy. Of course, it is, but it's a limited mindset. It is a limited mindset, which I know a lot of people still have. So someone said understanding among themselves. Yes, of course. To understand someone needs a lot of patience, right? You need to love someone enough to understand. There are people that, oh my God, I don't have the patience to understand, right? But there are people that we are so tolerant with. So tolerant. Like parents will always tolerate their children, mostly mothers. I mean, good mothers. Children will do shenanigans, or so many of us when we were kids, we did a lot of shenanigans, right? But guess what? They say the mother will beat you. Typically, African mothers will beat you with one hand and do what? Call you back with the other hand. So that is what it is. Like for you, just that time you devote to spend with someone, that time you devote to understand someone is something that you build on that person. You leave an impact in that person, no matter what happened. I can't forget, like, I called somebody this morning, by the way. I'm like, again, how much did you pay as bride price for your wife? The person knows himself. I'm like, how much did you pay as bride price for your wife? The person told me the amount, and I'm like, you know what? I think you need to add that money, or you need to pay again, because your wife is so patient with you. Your wife is so good to you. And how many of us? Wives, husband, brother, sister, how many of us feel we need to treat some people better the way we've been treated? That's just what it means. It's not necessarily by price, but it's just being in that point to check, like, oh, how have I been treating these people? How have I been treating this person? Can I do better? Because that's where it is. For somebody to have, sometimes the reason why people don't understand us is because we ourselves don't even like them. So, guys, if you're very new to this family, we encourage you to take upon yourself to go back and watch our previous videos. And if you're watching from Brightest Low, know that most of the videos are on Creative and Independent Minds. We just started streaming on Brightest Low, which is my profile. It's not been long. So there's a video we have no too important set of people to know, because you may also be investing your time and assets to the wrong set of people. Being in a wrong marriage is never a blessing to anybody, not even to God. So you being in a wrong job is not a blessing to anybody, not even you. You stress yourself for nothing. Being in a wrong place at the wrong time is not even going to help you. So there's always an appointed place and appointed people. To every good person you see, there's a key thing. You need to understand what to build on and or who to build on, right? Yes, of course, people say, oh, I have a big man and my child. There are people who know their children were not serious, but they had God gave them other children who stayed with them to help those children help those, but they maltreated those children. And guess what? Today, those children they spend so much on them are not even there to take care of them when they're old. We have seen things like that, right? We have also amazing people who build mansions and didn't take care of the primary responsibility they have in their homes. Or we have men who spend their time drinking on the road. Oh, yes, of course. They're investing their money on beer, they're investing their money on alcohol, they're investing their money on other things. But the important things and the primary things possibly they're supposed to invest their time and money on, they didn't. And when the how they call those days, someone I love always call them the dismayer days. So when those dismayer days, those days that maybe you don't have a job, maybe you're handicapped, maybe you're old, maybe you need someone to take care of you in the hospital. There's just nobody. But not like you don't have those people that could be there, because you were not there for them when they needed you. You are paying that price. So when we talk about legacy, it's not always about that. That's just the emphasis I want to lay at this point. I know typically when we talk about legacy, we talk about it when someone is at the end of his journey on earth. But of course, wise people, is it like we are not going to talk about that today? I'm going to obviously talk about it. If you know, you know. We are going to talk about it because your greatness is in that asking those three questions. Now, what happened? If in case I am not here, what will people remember me for? Of course. If tomorrow I'm sick, what happened? Yes, or possibly now I'm making 5 millions per month. But what happened if tomorrow I don't have a job? What happened tomorrow if I'm divorced? Women, we've seen a lot of women who are single mothers and going through hell. What are you learning from that? What are you making sure that you never get into that situation? You never witness someone go into that situation, which means that's why you also have to get the bonus of talking, because it's not just about you. If God make you see some things, it means that He wants you to use that to create an impact. So definitely I assume at this point we all at least understand what legacy is all about and why we all want to be very intentional, not just creating legacies, but the type of legacy we create. And talking a little bit, so by the way, many people want me to talk a little bit about the types of legacy, which imagine that's one of the things I may want to drop some weight on it, because of course it's just like when you talk about um primarily, I know a lot of us think about our basics. How do I pay my bills? How do I eat? How do I feel? Those are basics of life. I don't know how many of us know that, but those are the basics. You have to eat. Normally you should not even beg for food. Thank you, bro. Normally, we all should not beg for food. And I tell you the truth, I've been in an environment where farming is a primary source of income. And for those who did geography, there's a part of geography they call human and economic geography, which I love so much, by the way. One thing I picked from that subject, which I so much love, is the fact that whenever you study human and economic a part of it, you always talk about maybe developing countries, developed countries, or different countries. So when you go to that different country, you need to know their map, which is important, right? You need to know their map. One key thing you always had to know when you study human and economic geography for us was always to know their economic activities. How many people remember that? I know many people, when you go to school, they study, and after the class, they have a good grades, they forget about what they study. I mean, but to me, I always say if I go to school, it's a legacy I'm building. That knowledge is a legacy that the past things you studied should be helping you today. If you only help your employer, you don't help yourself with what you studied, they know you're doing something wrong. So when we talk about legacy, that's a type of legacy, by the way. Those things, those skills you've studied, the knowledge you acquired is a legacy you're building first for yourself before any other person. So if you went to school, you studied geography, you should be able to apply that thing. If you did economics, of course you did demand and supply, you did inflation. How are you applying it in your day-to-day activity? That is what makes you financially relevant. So if you studied that thing and you had A grades in economics, you were the best student, and at the end of the day, you don't apply it, it will not be an asset and it can't be a legacy. So legacy starts from those things you are building, those things you are acquiring. If you acquire with the intention of knowing that it's going to create an impact, definitely by now you should be appreciating yourself for that good job you did. That's why I can still always appreciate myself that I stopped doing economics or economics. How many years ago? The last time I did economics as a subject was maybe 2010. The last time I did geography and as a subject was in 2010, by the way. But I'm so blessed. I'm grateful to say, I had that opportunity to study this subject. I know some people are not blessed to have those opportunities to study, right? So that is to say, one type of legacy we all can be, and which is something I always emphasize us, is building on us. Because you can't give what you don't have. You want to impact people. Many times want to impress people. We ourselves we are empty. You want to show people you're making it when you actually your container is still empty. You know what I mean? Your container. Forget about the content, what people see. Fill first the container inside. That is a legacy you never regret. Fill your container, which is you. And that's why when we started this program, the first series we had almost for a year, it was all about personal development. If you're broke today, you were in a good relationship and the man was providing for women, I always talk to us. Because why? I said I've seen a lot of women go through hell. Some is because they were not informed. I had a situation, I remember that was in 2009. I had a man who had a family, he had 7 children. And I remember like the wife was just put to the bed, and I'm like, this man just had another child. And I remember my older sister like called me like a week after, like I'm in the hospital, precisely in the mortuary. This person that was in the house is they passed. And what came to my mind is how will this woman survive? How will this woman survive? And that's why women I encourage us that no matter who your father is, who your mother is, who your husband is, I will still always encourage you to take out time to invest in you. That you should at least be a helper, not just a receiver or a dependent. A helper, which means you can first of all help yourself, at least with your basics, because that is what in difficult time, if that person you depend on tomorrow doesn't have a job, you don't get frustrated. Because a lot of time why we women are most often looked as the lower class of human beings, I think is the way also some of us think. So instill the celebration of Women's Day and instill this topic of building a sustainable legacy. I want to encourage every one of us, young, old, tall, short, black, white, build a legacy on you first. Be yourself. To be enough to be say I'm this, I'm this. You don't just have to use somebody's name, because a lot of time we focus on using I am this person's daughter, I am this person's wife, and that limits us. Make a name for yourself. Have a name. You in fact God created as you were. God did not create you because of another person. So please, let's be intentional to invest on ourselves, because that's why you see there's a power you have to be truthful when you're educated. The reason why many of us suffer or some of us stress unnecessarily is because we are not informed. And to me, Be intentional about being informed. Like, not just go to school, not just acquire skills, but be informed. Be informed about who you are, be informed about what you can do, be informed about what you have to do. Even if you are a wife to somebody. Now I say I will talk a little bit to women for some minutes because it's still Women's Day, and women are powerful people, but many times we lose our power. Women are patient, are people who can build on anything. Women can be from scratch, but a lot of times we don't do that. Why? Because we have reduced ourselves to the standards the societies have put us on, right? So irrespective of where you are, God has given us diverse talents. So as I was talking about human and economics geography, one thing I learned from that topic is that people from different culture, different places have different activities, different sources of income. Which means as a woman, for example, you may learn how to cook and you industrialize that. As a woman, you can learn how to sew dresses, design dresses, and you industrialize that. You necessarily don't need to follow the path everybody's following. As a woman, you can decide to say, okay, and by the way God designed us is to work. Every one of us have a work. So if somebody calls you a daughter for somebody, I personally believe, or I always ask myself, what do I have to offer to this person? This is my mother. What do I have to offer to my mother as a daughter? This is my father. What do I have to offer to my father as his daughter? This is my grandmom. What do I have to offer? This is my husband. What do I have? And I believe that if honestly you have that type of mindset, you will always see something to do. You will never be idle, like idle doing nothing. You always have something in your mind, something you're working on. Because the truth is, life is nothing is guaranteed. Nothing, as in nothing, is just sad, but the reality. Nothing is guaranteed. That's why no matter how comfortable you are, you don't always want to wait to extreme. So back to all of us amazing people. For men, a lot of men, we live as babies. Unfortunately, not all. I said a lot. I didn't say all, so please don't come for me. So we live as babies, and as I said earlier, it's sad to know, but we have to learn to tell ourselves the truth. We live as babies, which means we basically just live. Before January, the way God made women, why are we organizers? Before a woman definitely do a couple of things, they must have thought about it. I mean, for we women, I know there are a lot of shenanigans happening. So, and I'm talking to serious people. I'm talking on general stuff like that. So, of course, we all know the amazing people are the men, women, the amazing people doing great jobs. That of course there's so many I admire, so many I celebrate, there's so many I watch. I just want to encourage those who are not yet in that space that you should think, what am I thinking about? Some as a man, for example, you can see I see men, for example, you have children, and instead of you prioritizing that family, don't knowing that that is what you have to be, you want to first of all be the mansions, you want to first make sure you have a name outside, and sometimes the people that you're supposed to invest on, you don't give them that attention and you don't invest in them. And guess what? A lot of people have done that and unfortunately didn't have opportunity to correct it. So that's why I don't want people, amazing people connected here, to do that same thing. So I'm telling you today that we talk about legacy, starts with you. Investing in you to be a good man, to be, if you're a husband, to be a good husband, if you're a friend, to be a good friend. Whatever, just be that. That is the legacy. Nobody, people never forget how you make them feel. So when you're a good man now, a good person, a good woman, when you connect with people, right, that people will not want to let you go, no matter how, like whatever. There are people who just know this person like this. So once you continuously grow and invest in you, the people immediately around you will benefit. Each time you grow, your immediate surrounding, each time, for example, reinforce on a locality or an environment, that environment benefits, right? Mostly when people are cultivating there. So it's the same thing. Whenever we invest on us, obviously those people will think so much has to benefit. They see the effect. If a man decides to be a good man for himself, the media, the children, the brothers, the sisters, we see that. So the first legacy I want each and every one of us to do as you go, one type of legacy you want to build, is to build that legacy on yourself to increase your own value as a human being. And the second, of course, which is very important, is to identify those people you are appointed to. To identify those people you are appointed to. As I said, a lot of us may have been wasting time. What's putting I always laugh at some ladies. You waste your time going to watch do things for a man that will never be your husband. There's no essence. Waste your money as a man on a girl you are not interested to get married. I know for immediate pleasure. That is the same thing that will make you unhappy tomorrow. Those are sad things that some people don't have the courage to talk about. But it's just what makes many of us foolish without knowing. It's what makes many of us children or babies, though we are in adult bodies. So legacy is not a matter of age. It's a matter of mindset now and perspective. So that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Make sure to invest not just in your physical self, your body, but importantly in your perspective. Your perspective and your mindset. That's why I do what I do. That's why you see me each time I will come on Creative and Independent Minds, because I personally understand the reason a lot of us struggle. You can pray. I see people praying, for example, pray. Each time you pray, you need to have a right mindset to understand that when you pray, God speaks. Some people believe that when they pray, God does not hear God, or God. I don't know how people think it. For me, it's so difficult to put myself in those positions of people that think, or this set of people think they need to go and meet a particular man to pray, then some things happen. I believe for every person who have the right mindset, when you pray, God speaks. The question is, do you know when God is speaking? Do you hear? So if you're in that space and you don't yet know how God speaks and you don't yet believe, what type of investment can you do? Build a legacy of improving or building those skills or the spirit consciousness to know how God speaks when He speaks, to hear Him clearly for yourself. I emphasize on that basically the whole of 2022. And I know till now some people don't get it. So those are the little things that you can be doing to improve yourself. It looks like little but very, very important. Once you sit back to be able to learn, not when things are tough, then you want to start praying in tongues, praying for everything to happen. So I say this to say, I see a lot of people we still think you just have to pray and miracle just happen. Or you saw this minister of God has his blessings now, he's doing this and God is blessing him, and you want to just do what he's doing now to get his results. Guys, it does not go like that. It's funny. It's only children who think like that. There's always some work, there's always a process that they must have followed. Many times what we see is just a result. But before you get to that point of results, know that they have put in a lot of work. The question is, are you ready to put in that work for yourself? Are you like ready to put that work for yourself on yourself without any reward? Because I know everything, as I said earlier, as far you know that you do something, somebody will pay you good money, you will do it. You want to do it. But the question is, when nobody's paying you anything, when you're not seeing any benefit, are you ready to put in the work for you? Once you're able to do that first part, that is when you can clearly see now the next set of legacies to build. The next set of legacy will be now on these people and appointed place. Because Moses, for example, was able to hear God, was able to obey God, he was able to get to that place that God wanted him to serve, the particular people, right, that God wanted him to free. Because Joseph was able to do what? To still hear and communicate with God, right? That's why even when he was in a foreign land, he could still perform his thing, he could still help people, and God could still remember him, right? It's not the people that he helped that remember him, he's God. So if you want to say, oh, I see people say, oh, even though I go to the shadow, the valley of the shadow of whatever, and I shall not, are you even ready to go to that valley? So we have to know that sometimes God will send you to that valley, but we have to be intentional to be ready to serve. So the next legacy is in service. Most rich people we see, this is the secret they have that most of us don't have. They understand that there's so much money in solving people's problem. For example, how many of us could believe Facebook will be what it is today? TikTok is like a clown. I see people, oh, TikTok has to be banned. I see the news all the time and I laugh. I'm like, even if TikTok is banned, whoever created that app has fulfilled its purpose, because before you have an app that is working, you may have tried, for those who do coding, and you may have tried a couple of things and it never works. And nobody, and people surely to, I beg, forget about that thing, you're wasting your time. And one day your app becomes so famous that so many people are using it. I'm grateful for Facebook. I'm so blessed. I mean, many of us are blessed to have a platform like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all those platforms, LinkedIn, in fact, WhatsApp too. How many of us are so blessed with these amazing people who stayed focused to come up with things that solve a problem? I think many of us don't see it as an app, a crazy app. Sweetheart, every idea that is solving a problem to some people is still crazy. Because it depends on the perspective you have, it depends on your mindset. Where people see opportunities, you can see just the negative part of it. So it's a blessing that we have a platform like this that solve that problem of distance and communication. Like, imagine you how much we used to pay 10 years ago for you to make, maybe you are in UK to call somewhere in the US. How much did you used to spend? How much do you need to spend now? Zero, as far you have data, right? Or I have this meeting going on, or this program going on, and I know, of course, that people from different countries are going to watch this video. What else could I do 10 years ago to it to make this possible? But you see what tech is doing, it's so amazing. But of course, everything that is good, even a gun, is for protection. But if you don't use it rightly, even a knife, use it to cut and slice stuff. But without the knife, or without using the knife for the wrong purpose, the knife may be a bad thing. It may be a weapon somebody will use to kill another person. So what am I trying to say? We all need to know where we are appointed to be and what we are appointed to be doing. That we don't take opportunities that are meant to be great to use it for negative things. A knife, we need a knife to cut some things, but that knife you can still use to kill somebody. So it's not a problem of having a knife, it's not a problem of having good or nagging people, but it's a problem of what are you doing with the people, the opportunities God is giving us. Every opportunity you see, I always like someone like, one thing I like about great people is that they use everything as a stepping stone. If you go back to look somebody as great as Tyler Perry now, when it comes to let me say acting and stuff like that, see where he is now, having his own like TV house and everything. And you see the family he came out from, what will you say? His legacy was not built from the fact that, oh, he was very rich, or yes, we know there are wealthy people that had those things available. So what makes you different? It's just what you're doing with the things you have now. So instead of giving yourself 500 excuses, look a service you can offer or a problem you can solve. That is what successful people focus on. They don't focus on what is B doing, what am I not doing, what am I not getting now. They focus on what can I change to get what I want. That is what it is. So that is the second, like identifying the self. That's the type of next type of as legacy we all can be. So I know a lot of time we focus on wanting to do what everybody's doing, but or waiting when we get old, waiting when we get married, waiting when you get children. So I ask you now, when do we think is the best time for us to start intentionally building a legacy for ourselves? That's a question I ask everybody. Let me see that in the comment section, please. When do you think is the best time for every one of us to start intentionally building a legacy for ourselves? Or legacies. It must not be one, can be many. When do we think is the best time to start building a legacy for yourself? And by the way, if we all are enjoying and learning and getting something from this amazing, let me see some hearts popping. It's been a while, I don't see some active people. And please do wait to always check for each. Okay, my brother Franklin said the time is now, the time is now. And what I'm going to say, I wish I knew this earlier. I used to think that time was when I turned 30, but I felt bad when I knew it, but now I'm okay. At least I've learned not to walk in regrets, but walk forward. Look at what I can do. I have come to learn that normally the time to start investing in you is when you're 15 days old. 15 days old. That's the time. But of course, many of us can say, oh, you see, everybody say the time is now, the time is now. That's what I used to think. And that now is like, some of us are more than 30, some of us are more than 40 years, some people are more than 60 years, and I'm sure they're still working so hard. Some people say, I'm just 10 years, I'm just 20 years. So I'm just telling you that the best time was when you were you were 15 days old. And that's what you make you see some family remains with, because they understand is that once their child gets 15, before the child even start raising, they start bidding for that child. So that before that child gets old, they just tell the child, okay, this is what we've been bidding for you. You have to just work on this or improve. And that legacy stays relevant forever. So I'm telling you today, if you don't have someone to tell you to start doing for you when you're 15 days old, you can start doing for yourself immediately you see this video if you didn't know. So the time is not even now. The time was yesterday, but today is better than tomorrow. Now is better than tomorrow because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So for those who have been dreaming, oh, till I graduate, just who tell you after your graduation you have all that you're thinking? Who tell you that after your graduation those people are supporting you will still be there? It's real. That is just the truth that when you think about it, you do extra things, and that's what takes you to your greatness. That is what keeps you shining. It's not because those challenges are not there. It's not like, oh, all things go like today. Oh God, I had to pray for God to give me the grace to come and start to talk about this amazing topic because it's so challenging. Like there are some things that happens and you're like, God, really? Really? But you come back when you sit and reflect, so clear understanding. Because I didn't want to talk about this part of this topic, but God says you have now all the reason. Yesterday, in my inbox from my sister, I see a message that someone is no more. And that person is very young, very active. And just like an hour after I received that message, I saw another one, an elderly person, not like elderly, like very, very active and well known person, still in the family. It's normal. I'm like, and today I'm talking about legacy. So, guys, what do you think God was doing? God was like, Lucy, even if you don't want to talk about this particular topic for you, but just know that someone may need it without you knowing. So I'm just talking to you that, of course, everyday things happen. And this person I'm talking, this young person, of course, has a wife or a girlfriend that who has a child, and that is another stress added, right? So you just have to face that reality that this is what happens each day. That sometimes people get into very difficult situations. Some people even become sick. Some people die because of stress. And if you saw the videos and the last, it was basically in that direction. Like the stress that people go through just because maybe they didn't start doing the right things early is the reason you see me talking so much this morning with all the power from God, and it's just God's grace that I didn't stand. I believe each day you get up, honestly, guys, it's a gift from God. And I also know we take this gift, things that we don't buy, yeah, the things that we tend to value less, but we forget that these are the most important things. And that's why I think I have to lay emphasis on that, that these things, the life you have, is not bought, but remain the most precious thing, because the day you stop breathing, trust me, you won't change anything at that moment. What you are built is what you feed on. The day you stop walking, the day you can't talk, the day you get to emergency unit, that day you cannot start increasing your bank account. Mm-mm. That day you cannot start being good to people. Mm-mm. That day you only have to feed from those people you've helped. So that's why at the end of the day, first thing I want to really say, be good to people. Be really, really, really good to people and be very intentional about the way you live your life. You never know. The people that are begging you tomorrow may be the people helping. The people that you have in your home today who are like homeless are the people, trust me, that may provide a house for you, may be there in the hospital for you, may be there in that time where you have no source of income. But many times, because of course these people are not giving us money, because this solution is not for me. So when we talk about service and solution, you need to have that loving mindset to be able to truly solve problems. Many of us want to offer service based on how much we make, and that's why I think business is so hard for many people. I see many people get into business, and the first thing, how much are you making? It's a good thing, but the truth is, for you to stay relevant in business, I'm telling people the secret now, is to be able to identify a true problem. For you to stay relevant in business is really in identifying and solving a true problem. If you see a platform like Facebook staying relevant and keep doing what they do, it's because they've identified that, oh, this is a problem people have with communication, and this is what or live streamings, and this is what this. So every day and go to, I see this same thing with all the money transfer apps. I use Cash App, and I know many of us use Cash App. Go to Cash App, I'm checking with every other money transfer app I have in my phone. They have added something. See, a lot of people are not informed about knowledge, about finances. They have small, short videos about finance, about money. I have the Cash App. I had to show a couple of people like, wow, this is so good. They're like, what is money? They have a short video on that explaining what is money, how money has transitioned from what people they trade and barter to this. I'm like, this is nice because a lot of people just still see money as the paper, the cash, the things they have in bank account, which is sad. So come again, they have, oh, what is this? A lot of people, when you talk about new concepts, like you talk about cryptocurrency, of course it's a volatile market, but a lot of people think, oh, is this, is that, just because they don't understand. So Cash App, for example, which is an app people use to send money, has videos to tell you what Bitcoin is all about. Is this not amazing? So that is a problem they are solving, ignorance. That a lot of people perish because of ignorance. Again, they are helping you to transfer money, but not just transfer, but inform you. That same app, I realize it help people to fight tax. So if you are a business person, all you think is just how to make money without solving a problem. I'm just trying to use that particular app that I know a lot of us are informed about to say you can just be copying from what they're doing and do it in your own business. Like use that your business to solve a true problem. Like what do people really need and how can I use this my idea, this my business to solve? How can I be improving it to make sure that people have the best? Once people have the best of your service, they will pay you the best. That is a simple concept. Once your value, you have great value, people will pay anything. So what people pay for is for value. If you come to me, you're selling a phone and I don't see the value of that phone, I won't pay for it. If you come to me, you're selling whatever, I don't see why I need it. Why would I pay for it? Unless I just want to promote you. But you want genuine clients, like people who really need that thing, right? Those are the people who really pay well. But those who don't need it are the one who always talk track. So that's why I talk about self-appointed people and in appointed places. So we all need to be in that space of positive energy with the right mindset of not just what we want immediately, in order to be able to serve the right people, to serve the right people. So now, do we all know why so many great people had some challenging past? Because somebody once said years back, like most motivational people are people who went through stress and this, and the person said in a negative way, like you should never listen to motivational speakers. And to me, that instead got me thinking, like, really, if somebody went through difficult thing, that can every person talk about it? So I just had from that day somebody that was about like 2012, by the way. That's like 2012 when the person made it was actually a schoolmate. So she made that statement, and for me, I'm somebody I don't know. Sometimes I just inside get thinking like why and start analyzing. So for me, I just started celebrating and respecting motivational speakers because that time I was not the person who could even talk like this. Like then I'll see someone go through a difficult thing, they have the courage to share it and impact other people. And so that's what I'm saying now. That's one way you create a legacy. Just being able to share your story to someone. It's not necessarily when they talk about serving people, it's not necessarily money, buying products, bringing services like what Facebook is doing, Cash App, or big business people that would take making sure they can even supply rice, it can even supply tomato, salt, cement. Those are people's need. Any person who wants to build house need to buy a cement. So you go to that market of cement. What is the challenge people have? Maybe the cost. You start producing good cement but at a cheaper price. Or you see maybe people have difficulties in transportation. That is what one of the strategy Dangote use. And you look at the great people, you see what is the challenge, for example, getting into movie industry, what is the challenge many actors face, and what is Mr. Tyler Perry doing different. That is why he keeps going. So that is just the secret. Once we are able to ask yourself that why did these people not use their challenges as a limitation? It's because those challenges got guys. If you've gone through a challenging moment, I tell you today, or if you're going through or tomorrow some of us may go through, God never sent challenges to break down anybody. These are always opportunity to test, and once you pass the test, like when you go generally most of us who go to school or who are interested in academics, you go to school, you have to write a test right to pass an exam. And how? What is that joy after the exam when you pass one? You're so proud. I have one of my niece texting me this, send me a voice note. You always want me to pass well, right? I've passed. I'm so happy. And I asked, are you happy? Are you proud of yourself? Yes, that's important. You feel good, right? So before anybody, you feel good. So it's just the something like when you have challenges, what great people do is they look at those challenges as opportunity. Like, okay, because I sat once, I didn't have a job. It means that people, what about these people who don't even have what I have and they don't have a job, they don't even have anybody? What can they do? And that is a way you have an idea. And that is a way God give us ideas sometimes in the form of challenges. Like put you in a situation that makes you maybe to fast, make you maybe to become more strong in different things you are not into, or make you to see things in a different way. So those situations are what can help each and every one of us to change our perspective and to grow and do better. So how many of us have had opportunities that really change our perspectives? Like shifted our perspective for the better and that we are so grateful for. It may not be necessarily challenges. How many of us have had such amazing opportunities to have some situations, some events? You may just see, like, for example, let me give an example. I shot a video, I don't know how many people watched that, where I went to one hospital. I was just thinking, like, for me at that point, before I saw that, but that particular situation happen, I used to think, like, when it comes to health, it's just about be able to get the best treatment for everybody. And I was just interested about making sure I learn a lot about drug discovery and be among those who come to the best treatment. So everybody go to hospital is healed. Then I walked to this hospital one day in the city. I didn't live in to visit a friend who was sick and someone was sick. And then just behind me, you have these people talking about someone who was admitted, actually a child working with the mother was admitted, and the mother refused to pay the hospitalization fee and rather to take the child home. And so while they were talking, this woman just came in and they were like, Mom, what happened that the doctor said you should stay, child needs to get attended to and you. So the woman like, I don't have the money they're asking me to pay. And I felt so bad. I wish, honestly, guys, if I could have the money, I could give that woman. The way I felt so bad. And that's what changed my perspective. You see, I always tell people that life sometimes, what people need is not your advice, it's not your prayers. Sometimes people need is just giving them that money they need. Sometimes what people need is just food. It's not the drugs even like. So, which means we have to be listeners. We all have to be listeners. If we want to build legacies, we have to be good listeners. Because when you listen to people's problem attention, many times we want to respond without listening. Many times we just want to do businesses which many people are doing and they see it's working. But you don't sit attentively to understand. If somebody has done the business it failed, listen to that person. Why did it fail? You may learn something from that person. You may learn something from that person who even failed the story. But if you don't, how much did you make? Nothing. I beg. That's why I will not do it. You won't learn. And you just join maybe the people who complain so much about that opportunity. But in every opportunity that people fail and people make it, in both stories or in all sides of the stories, we all have something to learn from. So the truth in life is that every young person will one day be old. Every person who is living today will one day die. Every person who has power today may be powerless tomorrow. Every person who has influence today may be an unknown person tomorrow. So, with all that being said, remember that we humans, our opinions are sometimes our limiting factors. Sometimes the opinion we focus so much on what people will say and what people will not say that limit us from facing the reality. The same people who tell you now this is impossible. When you succeed, will tell you I was the one who told you to do it. So what does that mean? You have to decide to be intentional in building your own legacy. So to summarize this topic, it's been an amazing day. To summarize this topic, I will just give us three main tips or secrets that we want to always use or consider when building our own legacies. Great legacies are built on solving people's problems. As I said, when you listen to everybody who talks, everybody you meet, every event, that you see potential problems or opportunities to build on. So great people build by solving problems. Secondly, listening and truly loving people give us so many means to build legacy. So to all of us who say we are introvert pro max, who don't even know the name of another their neighbor, remember the blessings you are looking for is in the people you are not talking to. The blessings you are looking for, the miracle you are looking for, the opportunities you are looking for, the business you are looking for is in the people you are not talking to. Third secret, use every opportunity to learn, earn, and impact. Many of us, of course, know how to earn, but few of us really impact. Few of us continuously learn. If you reach at the point in life that you think you know it or know it, you're already at the point of falling. So, of course, the secret in building sustainable legacy is about continuous learning. The world keeps changing. Money is not having the same definition it used to have 10 years ago. Be aware, be informed, then use it to earn, use it to impact. When you earn, use it to impact. That is the secret to build good and sustainable legacy. Another, and maybe the last for today, stay connected to your source. Stay connected to your source is what I will say all the time till we get it right. You know, when God bless us, when we impact, many times we want to impact, like let me say, someone who was God fearing, for example. I see many people who were God fearing before they got to the top. And when they got to the top, they became so proud that all is I did. And that was the case of Samson in the Bible. I know many people know that Delilah did what she did. But if you go into that story before the fall of Samson, all you will say, I did. I. So when you see yourself becoming more in that space of I did, not God did, or whoever you thought was in charge before you got to that point, know that you're about to fall and fall for good. And maybe never to, in fact, never to be remembered. So to stay, to be a sustainable legacy, if God gives you idea, God is specific. If God sends you to go to Babylon, God is there to give you what to do while in Babylon. Let God not take you from UK to US, your dreamland, and you in US, you say, I know it all. That's what I said before this point. I said, learn continuously. And when you learn, if, for example, you learn from a country that you're in slavery and you move to a country where you're free in whatever terms, in finances and material things. Maybe you're single now, you pray for God to give you a husband, a wife, you're married, or children, and now you have it. Stay connected to who gave you. Stay connected to your source. Because that's where many of us waste time doing the wrong things. For you to create the right impact, you have to have the right source. And you have to stay connected to the right source. So thank you guys for all those who have stayed up to this time. It's been an amazing day. I hope we all had a great day. And please do feel free to share with us your thoughts as usual in the comment section about this topic, this video or program. We'd like to know, we'd like to hear from everybody because as I said, we'll be great legacies, sustainable legacy by listening and learning. So of course I'll be learning from amazing people in this family. And we were supposed to have someone with us today. Um, but she couldn't make it, and we are still blessed. And we first of all appreciate people like that who want to dedicate her time. For those who know Dr. Pamela from Ukwai, she has been with us on one of our sessions, so she was supposed to be here today, but she had a super busy schedule and something popped up. And so this morning she was like, "Oh, I couldn't make it." I just want to say we appreciate all the people who have dedicated their time to invest on this program. And this program, of course, is going to be better. And it's a legacy we're intentionally building, first for herself and second to every other person that is beneficial to. So stay blessed, and we encourage you to also be an impact, not just to be a listener. As you learn, be ready to also impact. So feel free with us to share with us each time you feel you have a topic you want us to discuss on. Each time you feel like I have a topic like this, you want to say something. It's not about my story, it's not about me, it's about us. So feel free to always share or ask the link. We will send the link to you. It's not it's not just me coming to talk. I just want to also create this as a platform to encourage those who are shy. As I said, shy is not for us. Great people cannot be shy. Jesus could not. If Jesus was shy, then all the mad people will keep doing their mad things. So if you are seeing that, oh, I am choosing, I'm a favored person, no, you are favored, choosing to do a tax. So that tax is not for the shy, it's not for the weak, it's not for the faint-hearted. So we all want to stand strong as creative and independent minds to do the right things and always stand up for what is right and always be constructive and sustainable legacy. Wish us all a blessed weekend. I know a lot of people have been in my inbox. If you're one of them, I'm going to get to you soon. When I'm attending to amazing people, I like not to be talking or my chatting. So I so much appreciate everybody so much who have been again in this session. Stay connected. We keep it going same time next week. Don't miss.